I am Marwan Cameron, and this is The Conduit. All right, y'all, it is March 10th. It is Thursday. And as you can see, I've got a very special guest with me today. Darryl Riley. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good, man. Maybe special ed.
Well, it is good to see you and to have you back on to The Conduit. It's been a minute. You are a
Yeah.
very accomplished gentleman. Tonight, we're going to be talking about you being the founder of Up From Slavery Initiative. But if you would, please run down all of your illustrious achievements.
You- well, first, man, let me start off by saying thank you for being this, having this space. People don't realize how important this space is. Information is paramount, and you provide a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen you do a shift in how you operate, and that's important to be flexible. You know what I'm saying? And kudos to you for that. Um, well, I don't. Uh, that's the first time I've heard myself called accomplished. Thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? It kind of like a punch in the chest, in a good way. I never look at it like that because I just stay at it, man. I started off this thing chasing money and chasing opportunities, and now it's chasing me. Money and opportunity, and I where I live at, I've lived in the worst of neighborhoods, in the worst of cities, in the hardest of cities. You know what I'm saying? And living in Bremerton, as a neighbor, if you will, with an opportunity to be able to provide for myself, it's just a cool place to live. And in saying that, um, you know, there's not much to do here. you know, um, but get involved if you're not working. Get involved in what's happening and try to create things. So seeing as how I got so many things going on here, I decided to try to immerse myself in what's happening, and how could I not just be on the sidelines? I can talk about it because I'm in the game. I'm trying to have an impact, and so that being said, yeah, I'm actually a business owner, first and foremost. You know, I've been fortunate and blessed to have created an opportunity for myself to provide for myself, and through the building of that and the relationships from it, other avenues opened up, other opportunities opened up, and I just started getting involved with people who were more what I would say in the mix, if you will. People who are involved in city government, people who are in the know. Uh, because, and we'll probably get to this in a minute, but most of the people in our community, the people of color, there's a whole lot of information that come out about where you live at that they don't know about. I mean, a whole lot. I mean, we get job posts every 3 or 4 times a week. We get all kind of information about where access to stuff is going, and most of us that live in this city, we don't really know about it. So I've been involved in a lot of things in the city. I think I've been a citizen member of the audit committee for about since 2016, I think. Uh, and in fact, I just resigned from there last week. Um, that's another story. But not only that, I sit on the Racial Equity Advisory Committee of the City of Bremerton. Um, I was an applicant a time or two for City Council. And the big thing behind that is, I not only qualified in every way, but as a convicted felon, I was the first to put itself in that position. Uh, Hindsight is 2020, but the way my life set up, I'm glad that didn't happen because I probably would have been in trouble. But so being on those committees, man, and being in the know and watching how government in the city that I live in works, and watching how my tax dollars are spent, and being in a position to understand, my dollar. Um, it, I've been on the other side of that, and it don't. I ain't the kind of guy that like to have it all and not see nobody else with nothing.
Mhm.
So I wanted to create opportunities for the folks that I know or that are around me or that live in the community that I live in to try to advance themselves because we're in a different time now. You'll understand what I say that when I say this, that black is the flavor of the month right now. Everybody's on this racial equity thing, this racial justice thing, diversity and inclusion, what you want to call it. And it's the first time there's some real teeth them been behind this effort, at least in my lifetime. I was a baby when civil rights legislation was signed. Uh, and it just puts us in a different space. It's created a lot of different opportunities. And after going through COVID and all of that, I was fortunate, man. I didn't have to shut down my business one day during COVID. And, in fact, I made more money during COVID than I ever made prior in all the 8 years before.
Nice.
And I had started another business and it was doing just fantastic while everybody was in the house, while everybody was restricted. I was out here when it looked like the ghost town. So my lens is different, my perspective and the pulse of the city that I see and feel is much different.
Mhm.
Um, Not only that, me and my company till a lot of the ground in this city. And you may not put much stock in that, but I do. I put a lot of stock in helping God's creation do His thing. I think
Mhm.
there's a benefit to that in a number of ways. Most of them aren't tangible. So seeing this city open back up, seeing these things come about, the George Floyd thing and all that, what can we do in our community? Because I'm in all these spaces, you know, I might start off with my cousin who's homeless at 7-Eleven. I might start off kicking it with him, and then I'll move over to the Marvin Williams Center where we got a contract at, and I might be talking to Dr. Lillian over there, and then I'll leave there and I'll go to the Norm Dix building and sit in the audit committee with them, you know. Then I'll leave them and I'll go hang out with the homies who I used to get high with 10 years ago. That's probably still getting high. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of different spaces that I sit in, and it the I it it's that times two because now I get to see it from the perspective of a citizen and a business owner. Before I saw it from the perspective of a criminal,
Mhm.
and rarely do you get that opportunity. You know, I feel really fortunate, Marwan. Most folks don't make it back from all the drugs and stuff I used to do.
Well, let me ask you a
And
question, Daryl. Let me ask you a question. I want to ask you two. And the first question is this: you said that you were a convicted felon, right? The one thing that you are now is you're a role model, and you're a role model for so many young black men, but not just young black men that are trying to reinvent themselves, trying to find themselves, because you were in a different path, and here you are now as a business owner, as you just elocuted, being in the street, being able to have conversation, be relatable, understand that, and then go and talk business and then go into the county, into the city, and then advocate and be in that space. So that's a powerful thing to be able to reinvent yourself and then go forward in that. And I tell people all the time, you got to take power. It's not given to you. So my question is, you are a role model. What the hell made you believe that you belonged in these spaces? And what can you tell other black men that are looking up to you? Because there are a lot of them that do.
well, Well, first of all, let me just add on to what you just said. I appreciate that. That's that's the second thing that I've heard for the first time. I don't even, role model is just something they don't say much about folks these days, especially men folks. So I appreciate that, man. And I also get to remain authentic in them spaces. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to code switch. If I don't agree with somebody or if I think it's bullshit, you know, hey, it's bullshit. And I think that's a different kind of freedom.
Mhm.
But just to the second part of your question, I just think that the reason I'm relatable is because I'm real with myself first. I don't I'm if I do something wrong, I try to be the first person to straighten that up. Uh, and I don't really even know what a role model is. All I know is that this thing started off with me not wanting to die broke and an embarrassment to my family. And I got around some people who were doing way better than me, were smarter than me, and they gave me access to a space and they gave me the game. And I showed up every day. And that's what thing we got to do. We got to show up and we got to be our authentic selves, because if you do that and you consistent with being yourself, eventually that'll gain traction. But when we try to put on these different phases and be something that we're not, we're gonna get tired of that act one day. And the real you gonna come out.
Mhm.
So I just think that I what I'm hurt what bothers me the most, and I could be really transparent on this. What bothers me the most is that there's no space for black men in this community. You know what I'm saying? We don't have anything in this community that we can point to and say we do. So it gets tiring sometimes, and I don't know if I'm answering your question or veering off or not, but I just wish there was more um, opportunity. I don't know what it will take. Hopefully, some will be planted from this summit
Mhm.
that will inspire folks to try to gather and do something because I'm just like you, man. You know, I'm just like you, and we have to figure out our voice in this space because everybody else doing their thing. So I don't know. I may have got off your question a little
Oh
bit,
no,
man.
you're good. You're good. Well, let me ask it this way. You said you started off chasing the bag, right? I need to get money. I don't want to die broke. But then there's this shift, and now, and pretty much in every aspect of your life, you're giving back. You're trying to build other people up, not just yourself. What was that switch? And you bear so much fruit now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the switch was I ain't never been greedy and selfish. You know what I'm saying? Well, I probably was in my get high days, but I know what it's like not to have nothing, and I'm a genuinely good-hearted guy. As it is. So, I started seeing real fruit more, and I started making more money in the first 6 months of getting around them folks I was around. I started making more
Mm.
money than I ever made selling dope. And I got to keep it, and I got to do what I needed to do with it, and I was able to have financial flexibility that I never had before, and ain't got to worry about the police kicking the door in. So that's a
Mm.
different space. And I got it in the bank, and I ain't got to go. And they're addressing me as Mr. Riley when I go in the bank now. So what shift? I don't know where or what shift or what point it shifted, but I just know I stayed consistent, and it didn't work all the time. Just like you always
Mhm.
showing up. That's where the fruit come from. 80% of anything is showing up, and we got to show up even when we don't feel like it. So for me, starting to have a little money, starting to I got a peaceful wife who offers me peace, which is only thing men need. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You give us some peace, we can rule the world. And
Facts.
that's what she gives me. You know what I'm saying? And she's not a pushover. She's not a bully, but she gives me peace. And I'm able to reflect on who I am and where I'm at. And in reflecting on that, I started seeing the landscape. You know what I'm saying? We're in the poorest community in the district. I'm in these spaces so I can see the numbers, and I can look over the job prospects. You know, I see what them numbers look like based upon the W-2s we done gave out. You know, how
Mm.
many people we done fired for not showing up. You know, and I wanted to figure out how can I create more opportunities. You know, if this opportunity don't work for you, I got another one here. You know, and just to create something, man, just to build something. I'm a mason, and that's what we do.
Mm.
We're builders.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's just once you start building something and it works, and you become proud of it, and you black and been po, shit, you want to build some more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you get the freedom to see how these things go and get in these spaces. And you know, I can speak the language, but I can speak it like I'm on the corner talking to Ray Ray now. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to, you know, well, certain out and you know put myself in this box. I could just be Darryl, the guy who's an ex drug addict, who was raised in the ghetto, raised on hip hop, raised on New Jack City, raised on the generational wave of crack that killed a generation and a half. I grew up on all of that, you know, so that's who I am. That's my dress, that's my language. I'm from Chicago, and I carry all that proudly. So, you know, mind you, the hustle style still kicks in. The skills that I use selling drugs and in the drug game are transferable today. You know,
I got to give you that right there.
you know, you know, we checking the traps. You feel
Yep.
me? You know, in so many different ways, and that's why I'm able to move in these different spaces because I got a wife who understands me and what I need. You know, I used to do a lot of drugs, so I was always active. It's kind of where my space is at now, man. You know, and you know, I just want to be able to create opportunities for many folks as possible. You know, whatever the opportunity look like, and the way this up from slavery thing came around, I know a lot of people uh, who fit the mold, if you will. You know, I didn't know you at that time. You would have probably been the type of individual that I would have reached out to uh, because we can do it. See, I saw the landscape before everybody else did while all y'all was in the house. You know, I had a chance to reinvent myself and prepare for the game. You know, I studied while I was in the streets, while there wasn't no traffic, on how to improve myself. You know, so I think you know creating those opportunities, man, it just feels good that folks depend on you, that you help and provide for folks' family, you know, and that's what generational wealth is about, man. You know, that's what real freedom is about. I got real freedom to do whatever I want, you know, and it's all about doing good things. It ain't all about capitalism no more. I ain't chasing the money; it's chasing me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
do.
and the same with the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And now because we've injected that same spirit into our nonprofit, you know, we in a real good space, man. We in a real good space, man. We, you know, and I'm really proud of the smart people that I got around me who make me look smarter than I am. You feel me? I really, really appreciate them, man. And you know, we just see things the same way. I think one of the best things about our organization and the few people that are involved with us, we disagree a lot. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But we have discussions about them disagreements. We don't disagree on the whole overall goal, but we have disagreements about different parts of what we're trying to construct. And we don't look at that from a competitive standpoint. It's a collaborative issue. You know what I'm saying? We after a bag so we can free our people. And every dime they give us, we basically giving it back. That's what our summit is about. It's a gift to the community. We got a bag to do this. You feel me? We could have did a number of other things. We decided to create a space where everybody, a table where everybody in the whole damn county can get a bite from the table. Everybody can come there and get something different. It's a space for everybody, and it don't mean equity gonna change and Kitsap will be not racist the next day. But what it is gonna do is gonna plant some seeds. It's gonna build some relationships. There's some people that didn't know they know this person, that didn't know they know this person. There's a lot of information going around here, and we'll be able to create something. I think the other day was the beginning of a different kind of pressure that we have to continue to apply to city government. You
Agreed.
know, we can't let up. This is a workout, and they stronger than we are. So yeah, I just want to be able to be impactful, and influential in my community because I was a sucker for so long, sleeping on myself, and yeah, man, I ain't running from these opportunities.
You said something real powerful there at the end. And before we get to the fruit of the Race and Equity Summit 2022, we need to talk about the seed, which is the Up From Slavery Initiative. Uh, but you talked about, hey, I was a sucker and I was sleeping on myself. And there's so many people that the potential of what you would become that maybe you didn't see back then, or no one else around you saw, or law enforcement, or anyone else. And look at all the things that you have created now. So there's so much potential in the street, and you're trying to bring them
Well,
so they can
a,
realize
a,
the potential.
another big part of that, Fonzo, I mean, not Fonzo, Marwan, Fonzo was just calling me. Um, you know, I it's I went to prison more than once, bro, and I know what it comes. How I know what it feels like, and how scary it feels to come out of prison with nothing. Scared of the last time the police kicked the doors in. No opportunity. Everybody marginalized. You looking at you side eyed. You feel me? I know what that feels like, and I've experienced this several times. Coming from prison is like coming from war overseas, bro.
Mm,
You feel me? There's just as much trauma and social adaptation that needs to take place and be dealt with, but it's bypassed. And then we compound that with the probation officers and excessive fines. And it's slavery, doc. So I know what it feels like to come out of those situations. And I'm at a healthy enough place now to understand that not only am I a benefit to them brothers, an example to them brothers that's coming out or that's getting ready to come out, I'm examples to their children.
yeah.
Their children know somebody that done been to prison can come out and do it right because all too often, we done been through this rodeo before, and our parents was tired of hearing the same old stuff. We was talking when we get out, we gonna do right.
Mhm.
Cat make himself say anything when he finna get out, man. You know, I mean, yeah, and it be in your heart to do the right thing, bro.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know nobody coming out and saying, "Man, I'm going out here and screw up." That's not the objective. But you got to you got to toughen yourself up enough for the challenges, the mental challenges you're gonna face, especially when folks don't support you when they should. Like family members. That's tragic when you think you're doing something and you just come out of prison and you're doing something real different and you're just looking for some validation from your family member or somebody close and they don't, you know. And that's at that point is most cats just say forget it and go back to doing their thing.
Right.
So I just want to be that example, you know. I talk to guys several times a week from prison. I got a couple close friends that's doing a long time, man, and I'm what they never had. I went to prison a couple times, and I didn't have a girl, I didn't have family, Everybody was tired of me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't ever want them to feel like that. As long as I'm in a place to be able to do what I could do for them,
Mhm.
realistically, they my family. They at war, man. They on the plantation still, doc.
Right.
Because that's all prison is. It's about money. It ain't about the rehabilitation or what you did. Because you don't go to jail for what you did. You go to jail for getting caught.
Hmm.
So our legislature here in Washington is soon to follow Oregon and decriminalize narcotics. Folks is coming home. They coming home to a population that's probably almost 50% homeless.
Hmm.
Think about that. There's a lot black men, well, men in general are the largest voting bloc in the country, but we in prison. And they finna open the gates. These governments, these states are doing it. And we're exponentially high in terms of disproportionate rates, if you will, for non-violent drug offenses. That's
Mhm.
us.
Right.
They finna let a lot of us out of there. What we gonna do?
I know. Are we ready for them?
Do we even care to be ready for them? You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Do we even, or are we creating systems to figure out what to do with them if they get crazy again?
Right.
You know, I gotta allow a lot of things that the average job wouldn't allow because I know who I'm dealing with
Mm-hmm.
and what they dealing with. I gotta take them to court or meet them at the
Bend new
courthouse or
ways.
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Real
I got to
estate.
check. So yeah, it's just multifaceted, man. I don't think it's not like I'm trying to pay restitution or nothing like that. Uh, but I'm just proud of who I am, man, and where I've come from, man, really. And I know my mother would be proud. I think she was proud. You know what I'm saying? It's just I fucked up a lot, bro. Excuse my language. I mean, I screwed up a lot, and just got a lot of gratitude. Want to be able to help somebody else who might be in a tough situation. I done been in, if we were so poor, we was on food stamps, bro. We used to have to get food stamps and go to the corner store and
Mm-hmm.
buy a pack of gum so we can have change to get on the bus to go to school. You feel me?
Oh
You
man,
feel me?
you telling stories now,
Man, come on, man. Come on,
man.
man. You know what I'm
Try to
saying?
get the.
And
Mm-hmm.
I was in the eighth grade going to school as far as from Bremerton to Everett every day on the train. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so I know what I like to come from nothing, and it feels good to have people like yourself, say those type of things, man. It just starts to reveal even more.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not at that place because I'm just as hungry as I just got out last week. There's more for me. I want it all. I want to leave an impact. I want to plant seeds that's gonna be here when I leave. You know, so that's kind of what my focus is, especially with this summit.
Well, no, if you don't see tomorrow, you have planted plenty of seeds and more than most that had more to work with. So understand that. But the Race and Equity Summit 22, again, that's just some of the fruit from your tree. Let's talk about the Up from Slavery initiative. We you talked a little bit about why, that you founded this thing, right? And how important it is. Just you know, expand on the need of this right now and what the Up from Slavery initiative is was designed to do for this community.
Well, I'll start off by telling you what we didn't need.
Okay.
We didn't need another black organization uh, uh, coming from the place of a victim mentality.
Mm,
We didn't need that. What I've learned in business is you don't appeal to folks' feelings. You appeal to their interests. So we had to appeal to the interests of uh, those who want to help us. We had to create something that would not make us look like a victim. How could we uplift ourselves and empower ourselves? That's where we came at it from. Because that's what I did. I uplifted myself. You know, man, they used to laugh at me. I rode around here at 40 some years old with a lawnmower on my rusty truck. They used to laugh at me. This ex-smoker talking about he finna start a business. Ain't nobody laughing now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, at this point in the game, we can't be victims because 70% of our problems have to do with making some money and what to do with it when we get it. As a person of color, our biggest problem is poverty, you know, and being poor. So we figured if we could figure out how to attack that area, the financial literacy aspect of it, that would be 70% of it. And the other 30% would be divided between racial justice and health and wellness, which is a big thing for black people. We don't eat properly. We don't go to the doctor. You know, we don't take advantage of. We don't get our eyes checked. We around here with 8 pairs of glasses from the dollar store. You know, hey, yeah, and just you know, I mean, that's important. We don't go to the chiropractor, man. We don't go get massages. You know, I started doing that stuff, man, and it's changed my life, bro. It's changed my life. You feel me?
Yes, indeed. Yes.
I mean, you know, and it ain't never too much to take care of yourself. And I think if we focus on those things, those things are within our power.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to ask nobody for nothing to do those three things
Mm-hmm.
as black people. If we do those things, that those things become attractive to other folks who are already doing those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's about being attractive without reinventing the wheel. Just bringing something to light and packaging it in a way. And we just wanted to present that to our community. So we did. We launched a year ago, a little over a year ago. And, you know, our message was strong. I think for us, we got extremely fortunate. We were able to connect with the United Way. And that was groundbreaking because when you say United Way, ain't no black folk gonna turn around because they know you ain't talking about. They know you ain't talking about them. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Just
you
to
know what?
keep it
We're,
real,
we're
they're
not
not
even a
known for.
full block away from them, and I haven't had any conversations until I met you and Up From Slavery Initiative. That's
Well,
facts.
man, hey, man, the guy Carl Borg, man, was so smooth with me. I didn't know anything about him. Somebody turned me on to him, and I just gave it to him authentically where we was at and what we wanted to do, and he offered to help us for free, which was huge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he basically said to me, grab my hand and walk in the door with this white privilege. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna charge you nothing for it. And I can't be man, here it is a year later. We got some money. We tried to offer him an agreement. We tried to pay him. Carl, let us give you something. You know what I'm saying? We getting this money, man. This would have cost us thousands of dollars had you just took 5%.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So let us give you something. Man, he's like, nah. But that was huge.
Mm-hmm.
That made us that made folks take us serious and give us a second look.
Mm-hmm.
And we capitalized on the wave of the resistance, if you will, the resistance to the killings. You know, it's time that they do something for us. It's time they stop this, man, because people could, for so long, they could just bury their heads
Right.
and say it's not happening to them. But during COVID, you had to sit there and watch it. You know, you couldn't go to work for 8 hours. That's all they was talking about was George Floyd. And we had 3 or 4 more within the same month.
Mm-hmm.
So that was important at the time. We took advantage of that. That we talked about that a lot. We didn't want this to die down. We wanted to tag on to this movement while it was a hot topic. That way we can keep it hot. And you know, so we did, and we've become really, really fortunate, put in a good position, made some good relationships, and we even got access to a couple dollars, man, which really makes it exciting when you can develop and birth something like this summit and not have to worry about the dollar amount. You know,
Right.
that was real freedom. We had total anonymity to do our thing, and without and we're fiscally responsible. You know, but we just want to bless our people with this gift for this summit, and yeah, we don't want nothing back. You know,
So let's talk about this summit. Let's talk about this. This
well,
is the Recent Equity Summit of 2022.
yes, sir. It's a two day event, March 25th and 26th. March 25th will be held at Marvin Williams Center, 725 Park Avenue. That first day event, they'll have trainings on educational issues as it relates to racial disparities, um, in racial disparities within the medical field, and the last one, racial disparities within the workplace.
Mm.
So we're having subject matter experts, people of color from the area, to lead these trainings, and the hope is that they'll leave there with actionable steps that they can take on how to implement change. It's not a big, you don't have to send half of the black folks in the community and let them work in Norm Dick's building to get equity.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It's something simple as looking for ways to partner with the community to advance what they doing. You know, if you say you care about me and you care about equity, then look for a way to help me. Don't look for a way not to help me. So, yeah, we're looking to advance actionable steps, man, within those three areas of service that are so important to us. We always get marginalized, and you've been in rooms where folks will say something that bogus, or do something that's bogus, and you can't say nothing because of the space you in, because you know how they gonna, what they're gonna come with. Uh,
Right.
why is he tripping?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to suppress that, which becomes a mental health issue as well. Because now we ain't speaking out, and then when we do speak out, we explode. So we just want to create some steps and show them some areas that they can develop their game plan and how they deal with us, and asking for what we deserve. We want fairness. We're not asking for nothing. We're telling you what we want. That's the message that all the people that are running the trainings, that's the message that they have from us.
Nice.
Go in here and tell these people what to do because they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You got well-meaning white folks. They just don't know what equity looks like to me. They don't know what it looks like to you, and those might be different. So we want to try to push that. And then after those three sessions, we're going to have most of the leaders in the community, the top leaders in the community who are in positions to advance equity. They will then get on the stage with a moderator and talk about how they're going to advance equity, the same equity that we just told you about. Now, how you going to implement it? I mean, you're a school board director, you're a judge, you're a policy advocate. How are you going to advance this? You're a city council person. What's your role in advancing this equity? You can't say you don't know because we just told you. That's day one. Day two is really exciting. It'll be held at Birmingham High School on the 26th at 9:45, I think it is. And it starts off. We have a couple things going on to start it off, but we start off with a police panel with all the police chiefs except one in this county, um, along with Carmen Best, former police chief Carmen Best, and a couple other brothers who were justice involved, who are now doing really really big things uh, as it relates to policy, and in their relative communities. They're going to have a discussion on biases in policing, and discuss what is proactive policing and what does that look like. This isn't a trial. This isn't your normal forum where you ask a question and you only got 2 minutes to answer it and there's a bell. This is the discussion. This is a discussion, an authentic discussion by those in our community designed to protect us. This is an opportunity for you to get before your community and make sure that that we understand you got an ear for equity and you got a heart for equity and you understand what that looks like. We developed questions for them. We sent them to. I was involved in that. We want to pick apart anything or any blind spots that you may have, and I think those will come about even if you don't initially see them. They'll come about in the course of conversation because we got a judge that's a moderator and she's pretty sharp and she know what we're looking for. And we've already discussed with them what our angle is. We want to help you identify your blind spots because as a white man, if you get up there and say you don't have blind spots, you lying to yourself. You know, we're going to show you what equity looks like and what it doesn't. And after that police panel, we'll have lunch with the food trucks and all that. We'll have raffles. We're giving away a lot of gift certificates that we're buying from all black-owned businesses in the community.
Nice.
We're going to have a miniature library there. The library of Kitsap County will bring a miniature library. You can check out books there. You can ask any information there, any questions you want to know about the subject matter or anybody that's there or anything you want to know. You can find out right there on the spot. I got one artist that's he's in prison now, but he has a nonprofit called Fly Start, and it teaches youth about art. His mom is actually bringing some of his work out here. We're gonna showcase that probably somewhere near where you'll be on Friday, and we're trying to work out the logistics on Saturday. So this is designed to showcase black folks in Kitsap, what we are, what we can do, and what we want. You know, we don't want you to leave there saying you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We finna wake you up because after they finish talking to or listening to Dr. DeGry, I'm sure they're gonna learn some secrets. I don't think people are really aware for what they're finna get, which is what I'm most excited about.
So talk a little bit about Dr. Joy DeGruy and her. He's the author of the Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome.
Yeah, personally,
this.
Well, so the book Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, and I have to give credit to Dr. Karen Bolton. She put me on to this book like a little over 2.5 years ago, and I in reading that book, I identified with it so much. It's actually like it was telling my story, as a black male. And what I found powerful in the book, it can help white folks to see inside black culture, in terms of, I'll give you a couple examples. One is this: the difference between black culture and white culture. You got two white guys working side by side in a cubicle, and they hate each other, but they'll work there together and make their money for 25 years until they retire, go to their grave, hating one another. Let's flip that over. You got two black guys. They ain't finna last a week in that cubicle if they hate each other. Because we value relationships. Not because we don't know how to get along with nobody. We just value the personableness of the relationship. That's just a African culture thing that's been with us, and it's in our DNA. Now, a lot of things has changed that. A lot of big moms died and families don't talk. But for the most part, black folks are into relationships. We're relational beings. So that's kind of one of the differences. A lot of us blow up at jobs, go off on the manager, quit, ain't got nothing else lined up. And the rent due tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Won't dude over here in Remington got a lawn care business, and you gonna sit at home Somebody don't even like him. Now you gonna sit at home. You know he got jobs. You ain't gonna get no job.
Wow.
You know, we got to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
I about 4 months ago, I was almost ready to decide to try to sell my landscaping part. You know why? Because the labor pool.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? The labor pool. We got too many cats that sit at home and don't do nothing,
Mm.
and we got too many women that let them do it.
Well.
You know, if you on Section 8, y'all should be doing all right because he should be out there getting the bag every day. That's how I became what you call a role model. I show up
Mm-hmm.
even when I don't want to, and I've showed up so much now till I don't even have to get inspired. I don't even inspire my guys no more. They inspire me because I can't sleep late. I know they're gonna be out there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you know what I'm saying? So now they're giving it back to me. And I just get frustrated and disappointed with the labor pool in this community because I know a lot of people that don't have jobs.
Mm.
You feel me? I know a lot of people that don't have jobs. And I ain't begging for nobody to work for me because I don't know anybody. But when I was broke, when I was smoking crack, when I was doing whatever, if it was somebody around that I could make a few dollars with, I'm finna go try to figure that out.
Right.
I ain't gonna sit around broke waiting on the EBT card to kick in.
Mm.
Let's keep it real. You know, I ain't gonna lay up on the broad because I can. Where we gonna leave our children? Huh? GoFundMe, huh? That's
That's
why.
it.
That's why GoFundMe in existence because of black people. And I have to see it from a different lens,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to be responsible, and I have to be frugal, and I have to be shrewd sometimes, and all of that is different than the way we were raised. I'm not necessarily saying you, but us as a culture for the most part. And
Right.
that's because most men are in the home. Most of us weren't raised with fathers. They were either on drugs or in jail. Or, so the streets raised us. And up from slavery is just about giving the entire community, the entire county, everybody can get a little something. And Dr. Gloria is going to cap it off with the last sample she got that concludes. It's called Be the Healing. After she explained these struggles to me, I heard something from Nipsey Hussle on a video the other day that was parallel to what I read in her book. He said that when they would have a drive-by shooting in their neighborhood, they would strap up and they would all get in the car and they go riding down looking for these cats. And they would pass up the dude that had on the workman's uniform. They would pass up the dude that had on the suit. They would go look for the dudes who dressed and looked just like them.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they was going to assassinate and kill themselves.
Wow.
You feel
Wow.
me?
Yeah.
Most fights between black men that start off like this. Man, what you looking at? That's how it starts. You know why that is? It ain't because you looking at him. He just think I see him.
Mm.
He know I'm just like him.
Mm-hmm.
You think I see you, don't you? So now your defense mechanism can kick in. You don't want to be seen as the damaged black man that you are. So you want to use your power or your gun or your influence or your pulpit at that point to strike back.
Mm.
You feel me? Now we set tripping. So Dr. Gloria is going to open up some scabs, man, on these sores that we have. That's the best way to heal a sore. Peel the scab off of it and put some Neosporin or some cocoa butter on it. Let that joint heal up.
Well, we know we like our
So
cocoa butter.
man, but you got some marks on you that cocoa butter heals so good they ain't even there no more.
Hey, well,
You know,
yep.
so yeah, man, I just want to be effective and be some help. I can't eat all this fruit by myself. You know, I didn't plan it. I wanted to be a lot larger than I was. Last summer I had 14 people on landscaping. I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm like turning down as much work as I get,
Wow.
which is a good problem to have. But I'll share this with you. Uh, my organization is looking to purchase some land to develop our transitional release program, which going to include you having a place to stay and a job upon release from prison. We're going to have a mechanism to start vetting these guys a year prior to release.
Mm,
That's our plan. The goal behind it is to build a pipeline back from the prison.
mm,
You feel me? That's the ultimate goal. So I told my donors what I wanted to do, and and I told them this last summer. We were just in talking right after they gave us the grant. I told them we would. That's what our long term goal was: transitional release housing, and we're running the play. And they sent me a check and a Christmas card. You did to buy the land.
mm-hmm.
You feel me? So and I ain't crazy. I know they did that just to see what I'm gonna do with it, cause they got more in store for me.
Right.
So we gonna treat it right. You know what I'm saying? We gonna build a bag, man, cause we need to create an ecosystem right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ultimate goal. I can create an economic system right here that's benefiting and providing, giving opportunity, paying taxes, man. You know, and put some respect on my name.
Well, it's just what you said too. Is are we ready for them to come home, and are we gonna welcome them home? Is there a home for them to come to?
After 2 Sundays, we gonna get tired of praying for them. We gonna look at them sideways.
Right. Right. Right.
You
Well,
know,
I'm definitely excited for what's about to happen. To give everyone the details again, this is uh, Up From Slavery Initiative. This is the Race and Equity Summit of 2022. The first day is Friday, March 25th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Marvin Williams Center. Registration is required. On Friday, it is $50 registration. On Saturday, March 26th, it will be from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the Bremerton High School. Registration is free there. And again, you are going to have a panel. There's so much. This thing is jam packed. So, clear your schedule, find a way to make it to this. This is definitely important. Again, former police chief Carmen Best and several other police chiefs here locally, which I think is powerful indeed because they need to hear this information and then apply it to themselves and to the rest of the force for sure. And then after that, Dr. Joy DeGruy, author of Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome. So this is going to be a powerful weekend. We don't have much time left. We're about 2 weeks out. So this is the time. Go ahead and get registered. I'm going to go ahead and put the link down here. HTTPS :// m.bravo Paul Tango Marv Echo /event/5358435. Again, that is across the screen and in the chat, so you can go ahead and do that. Also, want to take you to the Up From Slavery Initiative website here. I also put that in the chat for you, so you can follow that www.ufsi.org. So you have all that information. I hope to see you there. I know that I will be there, and much of our team supporting in any way that we can be of use, because that is what you need to do. Don't talk about it, be about it. Darryl, I want to give you the final word. I want to thank you for all that you have done so far, all that you are doing currently, and all that you will do, because as you said, you stay hungry.
yes,
Final words.
sir. Well, I just want to thank you for the opportunity, man, to spread this. Like I said, this is valuable. What you're doing, knowledge and information is powerful. You know, the more you know, the more you know. I do want to remind everyone, even if you're just going to show up for the Saturday event, the free event, we're asking folks to register. It doesn't cost anything to register, and hope to see you there. And let me just add, I think we didn't touch on this. I think Carmen Best adds a twist to it. She's publicly come out and talked about the racism and the biases in police force. So there's no way they can get around it.
Mm.
You know, that's the importance of her being there. She's publicly come out and said it, talked about it. Bremerton police have experienced her being treated the same way with counsel, if you will, even though they're white. So I think that adds a different dynamic to the situation, and I'm excited to tune in and hear this one.
Yeah,
Also, we're
well,
gonna be, I'm gonna be asking you to, we're gonna be asking if anybody want to submit some questions. Probably in the next week or so, we're gonna be talking about how to get out a link. If you have any questions that you want to ask the Chiefs or Dr. DeGry or something like that.
all right. So stay tuned for that. Once that link comes out, I will share it with you. If you come up with questions before then, you can submit them to me and I will pass them on to Darryl and his team. This has been a powerful hour. A lot going on in Kitsap County. A lot of good folks, a lot of leadership, a lot of change. Time to be a part of that change for sure.
There's room for everybody.
That is a fact. So again, the dates are March 25th and Saturday, March 26th. Register now. We're going to give away 2 tickets to that event between now and then. So stay tuned for information on that because we want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity. And again, put your money or your time where your mouth is. Thank you so much, Darryl. I appreciate you. I am Marwan Cameron. This is The Conduit, and we will see you